Welcome to Kodiak Rider Recap. This is Case Holtman of Tower Racing, and this is Wheeling Cyclocross. 55 plus race, front row start for me here, and I actually get a good start. I clipped in right away, which is hilarious because when I pulled up on the pedal, I'm like, hey, I'm clipped in. We started about a minute behind the 35 plus guys, so they were off already. I was able to get the timing right, I think, on the data this time. So hopefully all the data on the bottom left looks appropriate. All right, so Wheeling is a race that's always cold and windy. It wasn't so horrible this time, which was good. But I specifically bought a windproof base layer just for this race. It's actually a great lace layer. It's not too heavy, so you can wear your jersey over because you need to pin the number onto the jersey because you got to look pro. And we're off. Brian Kwok here on the left gets the whole shot, but I'm right there behind him. I had great speed, really good legs. I was fresh even though I had raced the day before. You can check that video out too. I let up a little bit right here, and then I get not swamped, but Kurt goes by and Omar goes by. There's a different start way, so we are on the bike path early. It was a good course this year. It was flowy, not as much kind of stop and go. We did cross this bike path a bunch, and if I had the volume cranked up on the bike or on the GoPro, you would hear me hit rim probably at least three times. I got better at it as the race went on. So we're going into the back section, which is the fun section. It is a little bit of elevation, some good flow to it, and I'm just trying to keep the power up. This is a long straight. Nobody seems too keen on going really hard. Just holding positions. I was surprised nobody tried to pass me here, so I was happy with that. So there's an A-B line eventually up here in the back section. I took the B line, so I didn't have to get off my bike. Knew it was a tiny bit slower, but it turned out to be a lot slower, at least for the guy I was chasing later on in the race. So this is a big swoop. Usually this is really slick. We were able to get pretty good grip on that, so I didn't really have to brake, which was nice. And then we kind of go up, down. That's Omar on the left. He has his own videos, so check those out if you want to see him. He's usually ahead of me, although I've gotten ahead of him a couple of times. So here we can double back on the field. You can see people behind us there. So I'm in fourth right now. You can see a whole bunch of people behind, so I'm pretty happy right now. But this is the A-B line that's coming up. You see Brian's first, but not for long. You're not going to see him. Oh, Jostein goes past me. This is the B line where you go lower. You have a steeper exit, but there's some railroad ties up top. You have to either try to jump or run over. Brian tried to kind of ride over them, and he kind of went over the bars. Have no fear, he'll catch up. So I'm still fourth again, with Jostein in second, Kirk in first, and then Omar in second. Again, there's pretty good traction, surprisingly, on this day, which was nice. It wasn't super cool. You can see Omar's not wearing knee warmers. Jostein, I think, the same. But all the turns were pretty good, pretty flowy. And again, you can see the people behind. We're going to go flowing some more. This is always a bad spot. You can actually see grass there this year. Nope. Kirk has a problem. He unclipped or went too wide. But that little down and up is always slippery and muddy, especially later in the day or later in the race. But today it was fine. There was not enough rain. And this was really cool. You didn't have to brake at all right there. Just kind of fly through it. Got to be able to keep your speed up. Able to just kind of take the corners. This one, I don't know if it was this one. I got close to that post at least once. So now I'm third with Kirk falling behind. And I'm going to keep this position until a little bit later where something happens, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. But here's another transition. This one, bam! Oh, I'm pretty sure I hit rim on that one because it's kind of a steeper downhill. And I kept the pressure at 23 and 23, which I had the day before, and I had bottomed out a couple times there, but I thought this course wasn't going to have as many issues. There were a lot of roots and rocks on the course up in Camrock, Wisconsin yesterday. All right, so this is our first 35 plus rider we're catching. So I'm going to try to cut inside him so I don't lose Omar's wheel. That's always an issue, trying not to get cut off. All right, so I don't necessarily need to be right on his wheel. Not a ton of drafting, especially in all these turny areas. But on a straightaway, ideally, you're going to want to have a little bit of draft and tighten it up. This little dirt patch right by that tree is always muddy and slick. Again, not today. So we're going to go through some U-turns here. And, oh, there, Omar, there's me in the background. Just Ned Bowen, thanks for the pictures. Again, another fun picture. I should have been a little closer to Omar here because what's going to happen is I'm going to try to get past by that guy in the orange jersey that you saw in the last picture coming up here. And that's not going to go well for me. So right here, I let too much go, and bam, he just kind of cuts in front of me. He doesn't actually touch me. We'll look at it in slow motion, but if you look at the angle of his tire, and he just made me swerve a little bit, and then I hit the stake, and that caused me to go down. I don't know if you can actually hear it. I've got the volume down on the GoPro for the video, but I curse out who I think it was, which is Danny. I apologize to Danny, although he didn't even know about it later, but that was not Danny. That was Mark. So I lost a few places. Brian Kwok got in front of me. Kirk got back in front of me. One other person. So, anywho, so now it's adrenaline going, adrenaline pumping, and time to go. This is I guess the front half of the course, even though it's the second half. Oh, there we go. This guy, kind of went back and forth with him. That's Scott Ross, I think. But there's as one person put it, you get tape drunk. Because in this section, it's pretty much all flat, and it's just all kinds of tape. It's just a sea of tape, and so you're kind of going, turning. I mean, it's still relatively flowy, which is nice. Now, we go to 35 pluser here. Coming up to the barriers. They weren't super high, but they're on an angle, and I'm not good at barriers anyway, so it was best for me to just try to run it. All right, so again, this is going to be a good place to see each other. So those guys coming are the people ahead of me. I'll turn around and see who's behind me. There's Jack in the orange top. We'll see him eventually. And then we've got the little slalom. This was in 2 or 3 races this year. It's kind of fun. You keep your speed up a little bit. You practice, pretend like you're skiing, I guess. Here's Tent City. So the beginning of Tent City. So if you have a tent, put that up there. And if you have one of those butane warmers or propane warmers, whatever they are, I've heard that those are really nice, especially if you're going to do a second race. I did not do a second race this day. George did. He did single speed and did pretty well. All right, there's the rec center in the background. So this is I think a park district. Oh, I see shadows behind me. That's not good. So I think one of them's yellow, a yellow shadow, and he's going to pass me here. Nope, that's I think that's Springborn. There, he did not have. Well, there's the point. There's Steve in the yellow. We've been going back and forth all year. So Springborn is starting in the back of the pack just from a points perspective, but he's really strong and he usually makes his way up near the front. All right, so we're getting close to the end of this front section, and I'm trying to hold on to Steve, and I'm going to let this. There's the start finish line. I had to throw this in here somewhere. Thanks, Ned Bowen, for the picture. And I noticed that Steve looked tired. He had his head drop a little bit, at least one place in there, and he wasn't trying to get past the other guy. I think that's Scott Ross again in front. And I thought that was strange because he's strong and he would take advantage of getting past him if he could. So we're going to go past the pits here. This is the latest pit. It's like basically at the end. So this is a long way to get to the pits on the backside. So Steve gets past this 35 plus guy, and he lets Scott Ross go, and that's very unusual. I think Steve must have been tired. So anyway, I see that, and I'm gonna be like, all right, I have straight line power. That's the one thing I can do. And hey, this guy even passed him. So we both went past, and I'm just gonna keep following these guys. All right, so we cut ahead a little bit, and there's Scott Ross on the left. I'm like, yes, he passed me before. I'm going to get him, and then I'm going to follow this guy, keep his wheel. All right, we're going to move up again. This is the A line, B line. I'm going to follow these guys. And there's Scott Ross on the right. So he did the running, and he got ahead of me just doing the running. I'm not going to blame these two guys, one of which was a 35 plus back marker. I didn't have a superpower. So anyway, we're going to jump ahead here. There's Jack. I had expected Jack to pass me eventually. So again, he's second or third row just based on points. The way we do the points on the first row is all CCC. So if you don't do every CCC race, basically it's hard to ever get in the front row. All right. And we're moving a little bit more here. And there's our friend Scott Ross. So he was ahead of me after the AB line, but it took him a second to hop on the bike, and so I got past him. So again, we're back at the AB line. He's right in front of me. I trailed him for a good half a lap, and you can see him up there running. And that was so far ahead of me. Now, when you run, you lose the space when you remount, but I had a hard time getting up that steep hill. And anytime he lost by remounting and trying to get up to speed, I just didn't have. So, all right, so there's Jack. So this is we're back right near the AB line, and we're just going to look at the people behind me. So we passed a couple of guys, and then there's Jason White. Just for reference, I have never beaten Jason White in a race. So he is there, and I see him, and I'm like, holy crap, let's keep this moving. So, at any race, you're like, okay, I'm going to try to go as fast as I can throughout the whole race, but that was pretty kind of cool. So anyway, I'm ahead of him. I'm ahead of Steve. Those are really two of the people that I marked myself with. And then we kind of finish up here at the end. And that was pretty good. I had a decent lead over both of them at the end. So I was really happy with that. I made the 4-5 podium. Jason's third, Jack's first, 10th overall out of 45 guys. So that was cool. Thanks for watching.